Hey there, I'm Steve Starr, and we've been talking a lot about what restaurants are going to look like after COVID and what that could mean for full service restaurants in particular. We believe that full service restaurants are likely to bounce back in a big way. We see them doing something like 20 to 30% more sales volume than they did pre-COVID. But these sales are going to be split between off-premise and dine-in, hence the name dual channel. In the last episode, we talked about how the entry sequence, takeout station, and other front of house areas need to improve to capture this new business. In this episode, we're going to talk about what you can do in the kitchen and back of house to support this added business. So we're talking about the kitchen, and we're adapting it into something I like to call the dual channel kitchen. Basically what I'm saying is a kitchen that can handle both dine-in and off-premise business without sacrificing or confusing the workflow of one or the other. A kitchen that can serve more guests in different manners, faster, more consistently, and with less skilled labor. These are 5 areas that'll help turn your kitchen into a dual channel kitchen. We've got dual make stations or dual Expo lines, advanced automated cooking techniques, state-of-the-art hot holding, the latest POS or KDS technology, and lastly, a view into the kitchen itself. The idea behind all of these is that they should allow you to serve more guests more consistently, a little bit quicker, and using less skilled labor. Let's talk about the dual Expo station. This is an idea that actually came from the quick serve fast food industry, where many restaurants have actually dual make stations. In this case, for a full service restaurant, I think that's overkill and probably not very effective. I recommend using a dual Expo station instead. What you have in a lot of full service restaurants right now are the servers coming in from one side, handling all the dine-in business, and then maybe 1 or 2 people now handling the takeout business. And right now what's happening is they're working one on top of each other, where the server is coming, taking a plate off of the Expo window or the Expo pass-through and taking it right out to the dining room. A takeout person actually has to take the food, make sure the order's correct, package the food, tag it properly, and then put it all together in a bag. The problem we have is that these are 2 completely different functions. Right now what's happening is they're happening right on top of each other. What I'm proposing is that we create a separation for these 2 activities, so that on the right side, the servers can handle the dine-in business independently from the takeout business. And the takeout people can do their thing without being interrupted by the servers handling the dine-in business. The other real advantage to this idea of a dual Expo station is that we're really utilizing vertical space. We're adding a lot more shelving and a lot more opportunities to handle all of the space needed for all of the different to-go packaging. And that idea of vertical space is really important. My oldest daughter, Maddie, is a little bit vertically challenged. She's actually 4'11 and a half, and she spent the summer working at a great full-service restaurant. One of her jobs was as the takeout person. Unfortunately, she spent most of her shift on her tippy toes. Luckily, she was a dancer all through her teenage years and was able to work on her tippy toes. But just imagine when you don't have a dancer and someone that is shorter than 5 feet trying to reach up to the Expo window, putting food into a bag and not really knowing how it's landing in that bag. the opportunity to lower that station so that everything can be packed up nice and neat, so the to-go person can make sure the order is really accurate and really well done, is so important. Now let's talk about advanced automated cooking techniques. This is a great opportunity for us to learn from the other areas of the overall food service industry that already handle takeout and high throughput incredibly well. One of these techniques is the cook-chill retherm, or in this case, cook-chill finish. This is a technique that comes from the institutional food service segment, like the great new dining halls in college and universities we see popping up throughout the country. In our example, we use a new Southern cuisine concept. And every good new Southern cuisine concept has to have smothered pork chops. So I'm going to use that as an example to walk you through the difference between the cook-chill finish process and the traditional cooking process. In the cook-chill finish process, you would prep a large batch of pork chops. You would cook them in something like a combi oven and cook them slow and low to a very set, precise internal cooking temperature. Then you would blast chill them, which allows you to then arrest the cooking process and elongate and expand the holding process. You get a much longer shelf life without any product degradation using the quick chill process. This also allows us to take these pork chops now and hold them on the cook line during service in a cold state. So we're now in the middle of service, someone orders our great smothered pork chop. We take the smothered pork chop out of the refrigerated drawer and we put it into another great piece of automated cooking equipment, a conveyor charbroiler. This is awesome because it actually chars and caramelizes and sears both sides of the chop at the exact same time. We run that through the conveyor for maybe 2 to 3 minutes, and you get this wonderful finish on the pork chop. Then we add the smothered topping and put it in something like a thermo finisher or even an old-fashioned salamander if you don't want to go into this newfangled technology. All of that finishing process took us a total of about 3 to 3.5 minutes. Contrast that with the traditional process of grilling the pork chop during service. That would normally take about 15 to 18 minutes. And it would require someone with a great deal of grill experience to know whether or not they're overcooking or undercooking that pork chop and to make sure it comes out perfectly. The cook-chill finish process allows us to make sure that that pork chop comes out perfect every single time. It gives us consistency and speed with a lot less skilled labor. Another great way to serve more people faster, more consistently, and with less labor is to use advanced hot holding equipment. Studies have shown that the only true objective characteristic that guests can agree on to describe quality food is that it's actually served hot, if it's supposed to be hot. So getting that hot food to the guest is so critical. Another great new technology is the use of both heat and humidity to control the temperature and the texture of product within something like a hot holding cabinet, or even better, individual hot holding drawers. We're using this right now at a great barbecue concept we're working on, where we have one drawer for ribs, one drawer for brisket, one drawer for pulled pork, and so on. What this allows us to do is to create and dial in that perfect heat and humidity setting so that when you pull out that brisket to cut it, there's this wonderful bark along the top that still stays nice and firm, while at the same time allowing all the juices to be held inside the product so it doesn't dry out. When you cut it, it's actually juicy, fork tender, wonderful brisket. Order accuracy and minimizing human error on the cook line and make line are critical to serving more people faster, more consistently, and with less skilled labor. We found that a good kitchen display system, along with printers, connected to your point of sale system is an awesome tool. They're not sexy. It's not a completely innovative solution, but they've been proven to work really, really well at order accuracy and go a long way to making sure that when someone takes out their food, brings it home, what is supposed to be in that bag is actually in that bag. Lastly, let's talk about bringing in some sexy back into the restaurant after we've added all this new technology and automation. We're doing this by adding an element of food theater, or even just the ability to see into the kitchen. This glimpse into the kitchen is so important because it provides the guest with a sense of safety and a greater sense of transparency into your sanitation and food production processes. It highlights the fact that even though we've automated some of these processes, the act of cooking is still an art form. It's a craft, and that craft is incredibly entertaining to customers. In this image, we show two different opportunities to provide a view into the kitchen. One at the takeout station itself, and the other a simple window into the kitchen from the dining room. With these two simple ways, we've added a level of just entertainment and coolness back into what could otherwise be a bland restaurant. Now, I wouldn't say that these are the only things you can do to optimize your kitchen for the future. Every restaurant is different, and every space requires its own unique, innovative solutions. But I will say that these 5 things are going to be game changers. And if your business can find a way to incorporate at least a few of them, then you should be set up for success over the long term. To learn more about Restaurants Redefined and other topics on restaurant design, please follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, at stardesignteam.com, or check out the link in the description below for our other episodes.